every corner.
Mayegun don come,
Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power. Over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Mayegun don come. So my people make you ladder.
Mayegun don come,
My people make we shout.
Mayegun don come,
Mayegun don come, man of the masses.
Mayegun don come,
Mayegun diary political.
Mayegun don come,
This one not they off in mind.
Mayegun don come,
Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you ladder.
Mayegun don come,
My people make you shout.
Mayegun don come,
Mayegun don't come, man of the masses.
Mayegun don come,
Mayegun diary political.
Mayegun don come,
This man not the off. Mayegun àwa mọ̀, àmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Mayegun.
Ṣé wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o? Mayegun diary political.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Godfatherism.
Share this broadcast, invite your friends, and invite your not so friendly friends and tell them that Mayegun is here again.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you very much.
Lórí
Share the
Facebook.
broadcast.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Now they don't catch them. They say that they carry them go Akure. They say that they carry them. You to the para, or you to the para, 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 you to the para. They no agree to carry them come out. You see, people plenty. Now palace we dey so. This is palace of Olowo. This is palace of Olowo for what?
That was when the news broke yesterday that the attackers, the terrorists that killed our people in Owo, that they were apprehended and they've been taken to the palace of Olowo of Owo, who later pleaded with the people that they should calm down because those arrested will be taken to Akure, the state capital. Then from there, they will be taken to Abuja, because the news that spread around the town was that those who attacked the Owo church, that they have been apprehended. In fact, they were apprehended after, our mothers protested and they invoked the spirit of Ogunlakaye Oshimole to bring the perpetrators back. And they said a few days after that, these guys were arrested. There's so many questions to be asked. Here is the Olowo pleading with the people to calm down. The arrested culprits as alleged assailants who are supposed to be the ISWAP, they will be taken to Akure in a short clip.
Àti forí fọ̀fin ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ògùn yàjà wa ẹ bá rí ẹbẹ̀ yìí a máa fọ yes ọ̀rọ̀ náà wọn mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ náà kíkanjú ẹ̀dá ní sùúrù ìhùn yàrá bá ní fọ̀fin ọtí ọ̀rọ̀ yóò tún chẹ́nẹ̀ ọtí yóò wọn mú.
That was yesterday. A lot of people were happy. Wow, we told you, don't try if you are trying all other people in Yoruba land, don't try Ondo people. Their jazz is this and that. And in fact, many of us even suggested that we grew up knowing the details, the stories of the potency of our forebearers, them and their own charms, protective charms when it comes to protecting the Yoruba land. Historically, where are those things again? Where are those power? So the news that the killers of people in our church, that they came out themselves and they confessed, have more questions than answers. At first, the people who said they arrested them, they said they arrested 5 people who confessed that they were the ones who carried out the mass murder, the assassination of the worshippers in Owo. And they were arrested. They were caught in a hotel. The story is not straight. However, the whole town got the news of it. And they all, headed straight to the palace of Olowo. The palace that is just a stone throw from the church, where over 100 people got killed, assassinated by terrorists. That just same yesterday, the federal government of Nigeria came out and they said, yeah, it's true that the attack on the people on the people in Owo was carried out by ISWAP, the Sokoto-based terrorist cell that has their loyalty to ISIL or ISIS. So the federal government said that. Ondo state governor said, no, he disagreed. Then the news broke that some people were arrested. That's some things that doesn't make any sense. And this is why I want you to take whatever I say tonight, take it as my own opinion, especially my own curiosity that could help, probably give some answers as well to our own insecurity situation. I am not a security expert, but I am not a fool. Especially, I am someone who actually have an idea of what to do with pieces of information when it comes to understanding a situation, which means it helps. And that's what mostly I pass along, to the brethren in the temple of truth. So let us begin to take them piece by piece. The terrorists that came to attack Yoruba land, they are ISWAP. And pretty much say they are Boko Haram, okay? Just that. Now, the way they operate, is a kind of a guerrilla warfare like. They ambush, they lay ambush. And with what happened in Owo, like I said, I'm not a security expert, but we can't use our own layman understanding, pieces the whole thing together, then linking to the arrest they claim, and then the story that followed 24 hours after, the police said, no, the attackers of our church and those who killed our people in Owo, they have not been arrested. So where did this come from? Let's put the pieces together. The terrorists came before the gunshot. The first things that happened was a bomb blast, which normally, if a crime like that happened, where mass killing took place, yeah, and then there is also a bomb blast, by now, the entire area would have been condoned off. Condoning it off means that no public will have access to it. Okay? Nothing will be taken out of that place, including the corpses. The reason is this: from that scene of crime, there's so much to grab in order to have an idea of exactly who are those behind this. First, the bomb blast. There will be some shrapnels, when something blasts. There will be some pieces of that bomb still in that premises if it was condoned off before it got contaminated, where everybody had to flood in, and what happened. So you will still see some shrapnels of bomb. That can give you an idea, the maker of the bomb, to start with. You see all the gunshot, they were shooting people just like that randomly. There are over 200 people received gunshot wounds, and over 100 of them didn't make it, including children. Now, you will see shells of all these bullets. These shells will give you an idea, where did they come from? In the past, especially in southern Kaduna, where they have documented all the activities of these terrorists in their own region, yeah? They have documented to the point that they figured out that the weapons being used to kill the people in that part of Nigeria, southern Kaduna, the weapons have been the Nigeria military provided weapons. Not just that. The ammunitions, the bullets, the shells have proven that the shells are from the guns purchased by Nigeria way back in the old Russia, USSR. Well, maybe not so old. As far back as 1995. That they didn't, many of all this information were gathered because people quickly picked up evidence rather than all of us just pointing fingers, okay? And in the operation of the terrorists, whenever they come to kill, to destroy like that, once they are done, they just disappear into the thin air. There are records. Again, I am not a security expert, yeah? But there is no collection of any evidence, autopsy, or whatever should be as it is, yeah? Automatically, we agreed that when there's something called MO in security, modes of operation or something like that. I have given you the MO of the terrorists in other part of Nigeria documented. I have given you an idea of what happened as well, which is that if to start with, the government of Ondo, if they were really interested, not diverting our attention and dousing the tension so that they can concentrate on their election, there is no real investigation, so to say, then we now go so far to quickly say, thank God, Ogunlakaye has helped us catch them. They have started confessing. Now, from that short time that they got to know the location of these 5 people in that hotel who now confessed, they said, as the Ogun started disturbing and making, what I mean? They are not, which is practically what we have been told, even when we were younger. If this our own, our local, what do you call it? Our own trado. I want to find an English for that. I don't. Ibile, that we should go traditional in way of dealing with our issue, right? But do you know that within that short period of time, before the news broke, nobody took a confession from these guys. That is the second thing that we missed. Then they handed them over to the king. Nobody took the picture. Nobody took a statement. No sign of them. These arrested people. And just like that, thousands of millions of people heard about it. Just like millions of people heard about the terrorist attack. And as I'm talking to you right now, nobody can describe what these arrested people look like. Which simply means, since the king confirmed that he had them, and he was going to hand them over to the authority in the state, which is the governor, and automatically they will hand them over to the federal government, you are never going to know who they look like, what they look like. And that is part of why I want to have this chat with us tonight, without judging anyone. When these guys get, we don't know them, we don't know what they look like. In the past, we have seen the federal government of Nigeria released repentant terrorists that today, many of us here, we don't know their names, we don't know their identity, but they are back in the society. Some of them have been allegedly recruited into the military, and they are now providing security for the same people they terrorized for 12 years. So you don't know their identity. The government will never let you know their identity. They will never let you know their names. Now you, our people in Yoruba land, there are bravery that I want us to begin to have in mind now. Security tips, security measures that we should. They are not so elaborate, but at the same time, they are simple and not far-fetched, like the way they want to present our own trado, what do you call it, protection. It's going to be ridiculed, right? If we walk around, let me tell you this, it's a security tip, because what I figured out happened now is this: whoever staged the stunts that they have arrested those who carried out the attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, yeah? Whoever staged that stunt, they have a purpose. And if I can possibly, I don't say I am right, and I'm not going to say I am wrong, a distraction to douse the tension so that everybody can concentrate on their bogus charade called election. So I want to talk to some of you who probably are so very much determined to rid Yoruba land of these invaders. The political class are denying them. A lot of the elite are denying them. Their media, they are denying them until you become a victim. You see what happened in Owo? It's going to happen elsewhere in Yoruba land, especially the alertness that you all had, all of us, the day they attacked Owo and they killed those innocent people right there while they were worshiping their own God in a church. The rage that you felt, the anger that you felt, did you see how they managed to play that down over time? Tifnumbu, as the presidential candidate of APC, Egbekegbe, watered it down. Then suddenly this, and today the people of Owo, they still don't have answers to who killed our people in Owo. Right now, like everywhere else, yeah, you will never get an answer. How do you get an answer? How do you follow it up? How do you do this before the political class grab them from you? Because any move you make right now, yeah, any move you make in Yoruba land right now, security-wise against these Fulani invaders, these terrorists that are killing our people, so to say, whatever move you make right now is going to be politically injurious to Tifnumbu. So therefore, before you play into their hand, I have the following tips to give to you. We have proposed that we should all come together, pull our resources together, and support those who are ready to defend their own and protect their own communities, their own territories, protect your own small kingdom. I mean, your community. If you are ready, there are tips and there are helps that are on the way. As organized as you can get yourself, there is help on the way. Because you see, the battle that many of you are facing at home, especially those of us who are living in the communities. Look at what happened in Owo. Owo is not a village. Owo is a mini city, is a kingdom on its own, right? And they were audacious enough to carry that out. They were terrorists, okay? Terrorists don't lodge in hotels. Know that, okay? Terrorists, they don't lodge in hotels. Terrorists, they don't lodge around the town that they just carried out attack on. They are cowards, okay? They attack soft spots. Before you regroup, they will disappear. Whoever staged these stunts and hid all this information from us, I want to say this to all of you who genuinely are working, who genuinely want Yoruba land safe. You don't have the resources, you say. Well, let me give you these tips. Number one, there are people who are saying that if you come across any terrorist and you are convinced that harmed terrorists, not innocent people, okay, don't carry out your rage on harmless, innocent people simply because of the tribe or the what do you call it, of the ethnic they belong to. I'm saying this because I'm a Yoruba man, and you know this. We don't revenge on weak people. The cowards that are currently that have currently invaded our space, you will know them. You know they are harmed. And if by any chance you manage to disarm them, before you do any justice or whatever you want to do to them, learn this following, okay? Learn how to calmly, no torture. Don't make them feel too scared. You see, that short time you're going to have with them, any of these assailants that you come across in your communities, even before you get to that, right? When you sense a strange movement, don't keep it to yourselves. Tell our mothers, our fathers who are farmers, who are market women, who travel along the local routes in Yoruba land. Tell them if they sense strange movement, they should alert everyone around them. I'm talking about if you are a trader, a traveler on your route. If you get to your destination, alert everyone right there at your new destination to say, we sense so and so. And by so doing, you see those of us who are ready, genuinely, young men and women who are ready to protect Yoruba land in your own way. Just know this: when you come across them, when you incapacitate them, disarm them, before you do anything to them, you should learn how to calm them, extract information from them, location, the numbers of people in their camps, how many camps are they, where are they located, how far are they, and then how harmed are they. Make them feel cool enough before you do anything. This information is very vital. You know what I mean? It gives you pretty much like a 10 steps ahead. Don't just carry out any beating. Don't just carry out, don't be unprofessional with it. Don't be emotional with it. You see, that is the only way you can be ahead of those that are coming to kill us. The politicians don't care. They are going to give speeches. They are going to take pictures. They are going to say a lot of things. Politicians are all talks, no action. Now, talking about protecting ourselves. I love the fact that our people are confident enough that of course, I believe. I was raised in Ijebu. Remember that. So if you have anything you want to tell me about Ogun Abenugongo, I am ready to learn, but don't think I am actually going to be a jambito when you talk about Ogun. But you see, what I have learned is that over time, warfare in human history have evolved, changed. And as they are changing, we should all be changing as well. I am not asking us to leave behind what we hold dear, what we believe in. At the same time, you should be also mindful of the following. When our forefathers, when they were using betu, when they were using ayeta, when they were using okigbe, when our forefathers were using atidijo, when our forefathers, when they were using kawoko, all those things that in a way incapacitate their opponents, when they were using all of those, right? The weapons in vogue back then, they are not the same in vogue today. therefore, you should also be mindful of this following. You must also upgrade. And that is where we come in. That is where you come in. We are talking about security for our people. And then we want them to defend themselves. We want them to defend Yoruba land. They are not going to defend Yoruba land by waving irukere, by waving what do you call it, red cloth, by waving idea of bemi. That is not how we are going to protect Yoruba land. No, we are going. It is going to be like a human sacrifice if we should go by that narrative. Now I'm talking to you because you know that. Yeah, you do. But you can't give resources to just ghosts. That is why I started with people who are determined. They are there already. I have seen them. I've seen their videos. I've seen their requests. I've seen their SOS call for help from Yorubas in diaspora. Come and help us, assist us, and do this and that. I have seen them. They are there. What they need is to provide the real resources. Do you know that what they actually need is not money? Money is the smallest resources that our people need. The first one is the training. The second one is the gear. The third one is the proper ammunition that they will use. And then the fourth one is the money, which is the remuneration for the effort. They are ready to defend Yoruba land. They are ready to die for the Yoruba land. What do they need? They need training. They need gears. Gears, when I talk about gears, I'm talking about a bulletproof vest, bulletproof helmet. I'm talking about, all manner of, security, that they can use. Gears. Like I said, I'm not the expert, but you have an idea of what I'm talking about. When you provide this for them, you train them, you provide this for them, then the next thing, you provide them with the proper ammunition that can match exact of those who have been running us out of town, the cowards who invade our villages, our communities in the middle of the night, and they want to be called terrorists, and they want us to be scared. The politicians don't care. The government don't care. They don't really give a damn. If you become a victim, if your community becomes one, it is election season. They will come there in droves. They will come there and sympathize. They will come there and commiserate, and then you will move on to the next one. So if you want people to defend Yoruba land, as we always say to them, I want them to learn to know that before all of this come your way, you must learn how to improvise. Many of you don't have AK-47. You don't have AK-49. You don't have RPG. You don't have all these things that terrorists are, brandishing in our forest. They are there. They could do anything whenever they want. There's no point in in trying to say we will defend ourselves, we'll fight for ourselves, we'll do this and that when we don't have the resources. So, but you need to improvise. Improvising means, right? Many of our people are still very much potent, as deadly as these terrorists have been over time in Yoruba land. Underreported though, but as deadly as they have been, our people have matched them arm for arm, man for man, and most of the time they have been crushed out of their different locations. Yes, they have been. We have record of that. We do. And I can tell you this, those who carried out all of this, they didn't even have all the resources I mentioned earlier. But do you know what I think they missed? Interrogation, proper interrogation before they make their adventure public. And all of you watching me right now, you are going to come across some of this situation in the coming days, in the coming weeks in Yoruba land. You are young, vibrant, and you are pretty much intelligent. You have an idea of your environment. You are watching me right now. I know you need help. We know you need help. We will give you the help. But before the help comes, you should learn this following. When you come across these people, look at what happened to Wakili, right? Wakili has been perpetrating this criminality in that part of your state for years. But the day men came together and they mobilized and they said, we will crush them today. And indeed, they crushed the camp and the syndicate of Ewakili. It made the news. But what did we do with that? No information, no real thing to go further and do more. Because many of our people just want to take that glory right away. Please, some are telling you, what are you waiting for? Waste them. Please, before you do anything to any of them, you see what you get from them is so vital, it's so golden. You will pay millions for spies to give you those information. True or false, you can get those freely. And I'm saying this because it is so important. It is more valuable at times. Information, this particular information is more valuable than a battalion of army who have no real information. Before they take them from you, before your action gets to the media, before you do anything at all, extract real information. It is your vicinity, it is your community, it is your town. If they come around and you grab them in any way, don't beat them to the point that they won't give you the information you need. Because the reason is that if you get one, it means you can get more. How do you get more? It's by extracting information from the one you have managed to grab. And the reason why terrorism will not end in Nigeria is because, look at Nigeria. When terrorists are arrested, if you arrest terrorists in any part of Nigeria, the police will take them. And when the police take them, they will now source them, they will sort them. Once they discover that these are Fulanis, real for real, they will move them to the camp of rehabilitation. And they will call them repentant terrorists. That's it. No information. How could you have released over 40,000 repentant terrorists and yet there is no single information about the operation of these terrorists? There's no single information about the location of these terrorists. There's no single information about those who harm them, who give them guns. There's no single information how they manage to transact and move money within this Nigeria. 40,000 repentant terrorists, including the people they kidnapped, women, children they kidnapped and made, raped them, made them mothers. They brought them out. Over 70,000 now. Repentant terrorists and their families. No single information of who is this, or where are these camps. But you should not be like that. That's why I said, whoever planted that story of arresting the Owo killers, let me tell you this. When you received that news yesterday, were you not so relieved? Be honest, were you not relieved? That, hey, thank God, though, they said they have arrested them. Hi, we thank God, though. Were you not relieved? Do you know why Nigeria is in tatters now? So divided. Do you know why? Injustice. Everywhere you turn to, people are crying for justice. Justice. People who have lost their own children, people who have lost their own husbands, lost their wives, families who have lost everything, communities who have been wiped out. The survivors are crying for justice. But there's none. There's none. And that's why most of the time, people now resorted into self-help in a way to at least find a closure to the injustice that they have suffered in the system called Nigeria. Politicians don't care. Look at what they are doing with their election right now. How many of them has presented to you how they are going to tackle this issue of insecurity in a plain term, in a clear word? Fulani terrorists, ISWAP, and every one of them come before you and say, this is what I'm going to do. Genuinely, they won't. Because saying so, it's not going to win them the election. So that is why all of us in Yoruba land who are interested in our own safety, interested in our own protection. This is no longer about politics now. I am talking as somebody who is in the business of helping ourselves to stay alive. Security business, they say, is everybody's business. Many of us can't come back home now. We can't come back to Yoruba land. People may be telling you or giving you different excuses as it is. There are people who 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right, who dreamt of a place that they wanted to be. Now they have been in those places. Now they have achieved a lot in the last 10 years. In their dream, one day I'm going to go back to Yoruba land. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. People are changing all of that. All because of this. So that is why security business is all of our business. So I don't care now if you're APC or PDP or wherever now. I'm talking to you now, those of us who are interested in our own safety. Remember this. Don't just catch them. Don't just, grab and then fight them. Learn how to gently, after you disarm them, gently extract information from them. Who says the terrorists who can come into our communities in the middle of the night to attack us cannot receive a surprise visit from a group of well-armed young people, well-trained young people with a real resources, protection and all of that, who can also surprise them. That's what they do, terrorists. They surprise you. You may just be going on and then the next thing you're going to hear is a bow, bow, they will just kill as many people as they want to kill. Before you know it, they'll disappear. By the time you all say you want to come together and go after them, the police will come, the military will come, they will disperse all of you. They'll say they are going after them. Before you know it, that's it. Let those alive go and bury their dead. So before you become a victim, I'm saying this to you now. We are going to help. No matter how little it's going to be, but you are going to do the most. And you need that mental preparedness. You need that mental alertness. You need that little mental know-how. There are security experts who are Yorubas. They are my friends here. Okay, they are my friends here who are Yorubas all over the world. Professionals. People who have achieved a lot. They are watching from far in sadness. You know what I mean? They can't come back in there because they can see that the system is what is allowing it. The system that disarmed you is not a system that wants you to be alive. We are watching from far. And guess what? Many of us from where we have stayed, where we are staying, we can sense how risky, how kind of endangered we are too, to go and use your money to buy a ticket. And they say, where are you going? And you say, oh, I'm going to Nigeria, I'm going to Yoruba land for Christmas. The kind of eyes that people will use to look at you is just going to be like, you want to do Christmas in Lagos? Okay. They will look at you like, are you on suicide mission? That is why most people don't even tell anybody they want to go to Nigeria. So they pray. Their own security measures that I won't tell anybody. I will just appear there. And everybody will just see me. Hi, how are you? When did you come? Hi, that is how mentally what is happening in Yoruba land and in Nigeria in general is also having its own adverse effects on your own uncles and aunties abroad. Your friend, that your friend, he's made it now. He has a lot of money. He told you he was going to come back home one day. He was going to do this, he's going to do that. It's now probably not forthcoming anymore, is it? All of these are affecting our own mind as well. So that is why, as it is, security business is everyone's business, okay? So we have different organizations in Yoruba land who are pretty much working their asses out to provide security. The rig system has been, in a way, tried a lot to incapacitate them. So I want to say to you, apart from extracting information which is so useful, right? Then learn how to be discreet. Being discreet is defined as being in a little way, kind of don't be too open. Do you get that now? And that is why if you want to have any confession from them, take those confession off camera. Take them off camera. Use them. Because when the resources that you need start coming in for you, right? you have enough intel already. You would have had your map around your different communities in Yoruba land, the vigilantes and all of that. So when you are able to extract information that way, another security measure, which I believe that will also be useful if we try to develop it, is that, you see, community to community, from one community to the other. Some said that you should develop this WIZU as a form of alert to other communities to tell them we have visitors. When you are able to alert other communities, if any community in Yoruba land or any part of southern Nigeria or any part of Nigeria for that matter, but Yoruba land in particular, if you come any under attack, yeah, instead of those terrorists that you know that police are not going to come, the military are not going to come, yeah, the soldiers are not going to come. You know that. And there's nothing. Amotekun is not going to come. Amotekun is not really harmed or whatever. Okay. So if we learn to say in each community where you have vigilantes as we speak, right? So you learn to alert other communities. If you come under attack, sometimes we have heard that these attacks do last longer than 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Now then you wonder, what happened to other communities that are just about 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away, 5 minutes away? What happened to them? Do they just all shiver, or do they just start running? Because they know that if they finish with that community, they are coming to them. We need to change this. We do need to change this. All of you watching me right now, this information is good. All of us can use it. It's going to help us stay alive. And indeed, it's going to help us crush those that the politicians have submitted us to. They said we should learn to live with them. Election is what is most important to them now. And I bet that your life should be what is most important to you now. What happened in a war is going to happen again and again and again. And you see, most of them are not going to happen just the same way they happened in a war. But you see, all these distractions that are going to follow it, they are just to keep you in check until after your election. And maybe some of you are going to participate in their election. You should also be bold enough, at least, to put before all this political whatever now, genuinely now, and ask them, what do they have to tackle the Fulani terrorist menace? What do they have to tackle the kidnappings and then the jihadists who are taking over the southern Nigeria? Ask them this. Let them be so and read through their responses, see through all their replies, because through them lies what you are about to sign up for. You may not care. Other things may not matter. I mean, this may not matter to you than others. But I'm telling you this. It is pretty much like the lies they told you in 2014, 2015. You needed a general to face the terrorist and fight the physical war. You needed a pastor to face the terrorists and fight the spiritual war. What happened to the general? What happened to the pastor? What happened to the terrorism industry in Nigeria? What happened to all of you who believed them? What happened to all of you who didn't believe them? Everyone is a victim. They failed. And then again, ask them, if you are still believing in that one Nigeria, ask them, what is the plan? I can tell you this free of charge. None of them has any plan to take you out of this so quagmire, because the only way to get out of it is to allow the people to take care of their own affair regionally, develop their own security architecture to protect themselves in the hands of invaders, internal criminals and external criminals. At least with what we have witnessed so far, the terrorists killing us in Yoruba land, those ones who had the audacity to enter our church, they are not just Fulani terrorists. They are the ISIL terrorists, in which means that you have Boko Haram in Yoruba land. How do you figure and solve that? No, you can't figure that by talking about economy from consumption to production. That's not going to solve it. You can't build anything or make anything in a space where you have insecurity Ask them these questions and see how they answer them. But for us, we are not waiting for them. We want to be alive, to have Yoruba nation, to have Oduduwa Republic. You need to be alive. And being alive means that you must be security aware. You must be security alert. You must be security conscious, which is the general balance. Be security conscious. Watch and pray that you have in the Bible. Simply means that be security wise. Then pray. If you have to pray, hold your gun.